Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Senior and Living Today. Today, I want to talk to you about the option of multi generational living. And when I say multi generational, I don't necessarily just mean um, family members. I also want to say group living because generally multi-family, multi-generational, we think of, grandparents, parents, and the grandchildren. But there are other options to consider. It might be grandparents and grandchildren. Maybe the parents aren't up for the whole living together situation. It might be a group, like a group of girlfriends. I'm still definitely in touch with women I went to school with many, many years ago. Won't say how many, but not all of us are married. Not all of us have children, and maybe a group setting might be, three or four senior ladies um, buying or renting a home and living in a group to cut back on expenses, to help each other out, that kind of thing. Would you consider that? Some people will consider the latter before the first. They would much rather live with girlfriends than live with family. But it is something that I think we need to think about and consider. What are the pros? What are the cons in each situation? Part of whether you're up for that is where you see yourself falling in that setup. As the senior, are you the senior needing help or some kind of assistance where you need someone to help you with certain things? Or are you the helper where you are helping others with helping with the cooking or helping watch the children, and so you feel um, that there is a need for what you can do in the group? Are you feeling needed? Are you feeling like you are a burden? I think that is what would make a lot of difference to people. In my family, we have talked about it. It's for a money saving purpose. I mean, if you have three or four families all paying electricity and all paying for cable and all paying for internet, when you could possibly do it all under the same roof in these economic times, why not? I do think that there are some in the younger generation, though, that are not up for it because they want their privacy, whatever that means. So then it would come down to, can you locate a place that you could all live in comfortably? That if you have a senior who has any sort of mobility issues, where they could still get around, if you could find a place like that, would that be helpful to your family? Would that help budget wise? Would that help with who's going to go visit the senior? How can you get over to visit the senior? How can you make sure that they have food, um, and that their living environment is safe? With a multi generational living situation, it's a little bit easier to do that because you have your eye on things all the time, where you might catch something visually that you might not see if you're far apart. You might say, they seem a little unsteady, or oh, they're not hearing the same, or they're not catching that they left the door unlocked, or they left the stove on. I mean, there's lots of safety issues that can kind of be prevented with a multi-family setting. If you have little ones, that's several, could be several more pairs of eyes on them, not to mention just the nurturing and not having little ones with a stranger. So there are lots of things to think about. And it just came to mind that I should present that to you guys today and see how you guys feel about it, because all we're hearing lately on the news is about whether it's what is it? Stagflation, inflation, depression, recession, all those things. And they all amount up to how are we all doing financially and what can we do to make it better? And the multi generational setting came to mind as a way that might help us navigate through these financial times that, we don't know if things are going to be more difficult for a year or things are going to be more difficult for 5 years. And we all know that any kind of specialized living for seniors, even seniors that are um, perfectly fine, mobile, athletic, um, that sort of thing, it's still, there's financial issues. Are you living in a place that's 55 and over? That's expensive. It comes with a lot of rules. Even if you're 55 and perfectly healthy and need no help, you have all these rules that you have to follow that you wouldn't if you were in your own home with other family members. Um, Living in a 55 and over place, that depends on, who can visit you sometimes and how long they can come and visit you. Um, if you have a senior living in any kind of assisted living or nursing home, anything like that is very expensive. So, economically, um, it seems as though it would be beneficial to have a generational living situation. Although mentally, it might make everybody crazy. So physically, it could be good. Mentally, maybe for some, not so good. So I wanted you to think about that today. I would love it if you would put in the comments how you feel about it, what you think about it, and where you see yourself now if you could deal with that sort of situation versus where you were seeing yourself or saying to yourself 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was still considering multi generational living. I would say probably 20 years ago, I'd given it no thought at all. I was not there. I wanted my own everything. So our thoughts change. I want to know where you saw yourself and where you see yourself now. And please put it in the comments and we can talk about it. I would love to hear everyone's perspective. So thank you. I hope that this was thought provoking for you. Thank you for watching. Please like the video. Please share the video. And I hope you'll join us again on Senior and Living Today.